We want to talk about the logistics of how that's going to work and who it's going to cost. That's what we're talking about there.
I don't know.
Nah, okay.
And finally?
Yeah, so I'm finally, and in the spirit of what we said last week, which is you guys can help drive the rundown by your comments, we have an and finally that's directly influenced by one of our listeners getting in touch with a comment about a news story, and it was that Rob Crossland is to step down from the board of directors of Hull Kingston Rovers and his position as vice chairman of the club after 11 full years in the role. Crossland will exit from the club with immediate effect, with full control being transferred over to chairman Neil Hodgson.
For a surprise comment, Tom Andrews got in touch. Just a big thank you from me. Has put a hell of a lot into KR and made a massive difference with the retail side of things. It's played a massive part in keeping us up and getting us back up and staying there again. And fair play, you know, the way that KR have come back up and stayed up and done well, you've got to say they're a new team. And
also, they've demonstrated some of those things that we've talked about. They managed to keep a steady level of crowd. They've managed to actually come out since then with some of the best kits they've ever produced. I mean, this year's away kit is a real nice looking kit from Hull Kingston Rovers, for example, and they've managed to, the way they launched that seemed cool and fresh and kind of youth orientated, and all the sort of values that Super League are trying to aim for. So I think if Rob Crossland's been heavily involved in that, then well done to him for it.
And remember, you can add your news and views for the fan views on the week's news on our Google form.
Excellent. Well done.
That's alright.
Let's move on now to Super League match reviews, even though...
Right, see you later. Thank you. This has been Super League Pod. Alright. Round 9.
Round 9 then of Super League, and average attendance this week, Dom?
7,329.
Which has it as the 6th highest average attendance of the 9 rounds so far, so not a great week this week.
Not a great week at all, Mark.
Does that lead us into the first game, Dom?
Yes.
Do you want to take us through what happened on Thursday night last week?
I do like the fact that you got me reading this. Hull KR were victorious to the Leeds Winos with 45-26. There was 8,292 people there, and James Child was the referee. Do we go straight to fan views? I can't remember how it works.
Stats. Read the team stats out first.
So this game had the most runs from dummy half so far this year, the highest overall average gain, although Leeds made their meters up at a better average and also had a better team tackle success. Hull KR made more meters, more breaks, fewer errors and fewer penalties, and they also won.
Yeah, and that's what played into them winning, all of those stats that were in their favour. Do you remember what all the acronyms are?
No.
Right, okay. I'll do the individual stats. Craig Hall had 1 try assist, 10 tackle busts, 4 clean breaks, and
clean break. That's what I was trying to work out.
And 217 metres. That's quite an impressive performance from Craig Hall. Danny Maguire with a try, 2 try assists, and 110 metres against his former team. George Lawler.
We should sign a player like that.
George Lawler, a bit of leadership. George Lawler, who we spoke about just a little bit before, he had 140 metres. Kane Linnett, a try assist. What a nice offload it was as well on that try assist, and 134 metres from him. For the losing Leeds side, just because they lost doesn't mean there wasn't an impressive stats performer out there. Conrad Hurrell,
dream man. 4
tries, 13 tackle busts, 4 clean breaks, 235 metres. Brad Dwyer had a try assist, 44 tackles, 10 marker tackles, 5 tackle busts and 129 metres. That's a pretty all-round performance there as well. Tom Briscoe 148 metres and Jack Walker 5 tackle busts and 100 metres. The first of the fan reviews comes in from Neil McEwen, who said, Leeds are utter dog shy. Without Conrad, they'd be on 0 points. It's great viewing for the whole sport. Ha ha ha. See you in the Championship next year. The Witness fans are enjoying it then.
Yeah. I like the fact that means that he's given up any hope of promotion into Super League. At M9UHL says 1 out of 2. What do marquee players get you? Well, at least some offloads, enthusiasm, and of course tries. I feel like Leeds management have been bullshitted with the smooth talking of certain of a certain person to convince them that some players in the Leeds squad are better than they are. There's no quick fix, and there's no benefits to having individual agendas. Individual agendas to which money is due that we see at the moment. No passion. I could moan all day. I love Merrin and Connie and Ferner. All the rest are sponges. Wow, harsh words. Strong
words about the general state of the squad at the Leeds Rhinos. Genghis Campbell said, can Leeds please work out whether or not they're in crisis? I'm getting motion sickness at this point. Also, run the Maguire Garbutt kind horse trains by me one more time.
Fuck, you know what? Like, I literally had Leeds to win, and then I remembered that basically they've got Garbutt Kino, and they weren't very happy we traded them, so I was like, they're going to be up for this game, and if I could have changed my Super Brew 10 minutes before the game, I would have done. Tom Andrews said Rovers putting on 45 on Leeds, brilliant. This and having some money on Hurl to score +3 tries, perfect. Away with the family this week, so watched on my phone. Notable performances. Craig Hall was brilliant. Most put a big shift, and Maguire probably had his best game in red and white. Oh, and it's nice to have Lunty back again. Still refuse to believe we wouldn't throw it away until Angela Pavos and Mudlaw are off.
Kalen Ponga got in touch. Wow. He said, good day guys, big fan of the show. Not sure about Mark, but really enjoy the co-hosts. Just wanted to ask about the show last year, which Mark said Jack Walker had the same potential as me. You sure, mate? Best, Kalen. God, people really do remember what you say. I don't remember saying this. However, I still stand by Jack Walker's potential. Just because a few kickoffs went out on the full in ridiculously windy conditions. You know, Tom Andrews is talking about how good Craig Hall was. He kicked off out on the full.
I mean, Jack Walker had one amazing try save. Like he's not the kicker. You know, we don't have a kicker because we keep picking one. But I would say that this wasn't Jack Walker's best game, but by no means should he be scarred on this. Things happen, and it was incredibly windy.
I mean, to be fair, probably the most crucial point in the game was that goal line dropout that went out on the full, because if that had landed in the field of play, it was going on for miles and none of the whole KR players were getting near it. Mm-hmm. So Leeds would have had a win there, and the momentum was probably just about with Leeds at that stage. But I don't think you pin that on the kid. I think the kid has done so much good stuff so far, particularly this season, but also over the rest of his time in the Leeds first team setup. That
we basically threw him into Leeds and gave him the first team position straight away. You know, he's never really had a time to rest. He's never really been brought in slowly like they're trying to do with McClellan. You know, trying to build him up. And I wonder if Leeds are learning from that by throwing him into almost a full season of first team games. Because they'd signed Golding for that position, and they basically just swapped him out like that.
Well, I mean, Kalen Pong has had to be moved out of the halves because he wasn't doing a good enough job. So they thought, we'll put him at fullback to see if that makes him actually contribute to the game in any positive way whatsoever. So, there's that too.
So, Shoddy Mungo says, I generally think it's unfair to make judgments about a team until they've played 10 games in the league due to schedule variations. Happy now to be able to confirm that Leeds are definitely shite.
That is a strong runner for best fan review of the week. Roger the Cabin Boy said, stuffed by our rejects through our crap defence. Didn't realise Myler played such a key defensive role.
Paige says, remind me never to be in the same room as Tom when Rovers are on the telly. Due to being away, this had to happen. While I sat and watched a programme on McVitie's Biscuits, Tom watched rugby. Honestly, though, Tom was going to break down into tears when Conrad Ruddle snapped through the Rovers' defence like a ginger biscuit on his second try. Didn't take long for him to be happy again, like a man with a split personality.
Tim G Radio said, I would say the hills are alive with the sound of Rovers, but we all know Hull is flatter than Leeds' first half performance. Craig Hall proves that even the beautiful are fallible by falling over. Injuries took the shine off the win slightly. # Leeds in Championship 2019.
And Cutthroat Jake says, whether Leeds are relegated or not, Hurl should be in the running for Man of Steel. He's carrying our team single-handed. No Fatboy Rob? What's going on? Oh well.
He sent in 5 reviews on the next game instead.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say about this game other than more of the same? We keep accidentally winning a few, but Leeds just aren't winning. They aren't doing well. There's no they're starting to trust each other a little bit more. So you see the ball being thrown around, you see them trying things, but there's still no direction. There's still nobody there, and that's sort of what Milo was doing, like last week.
Okay.
There's nobody there calling orders. It's like when you had Sinfield and JP on the team, when they were fucking up, you could hear JP.
Yeah.
Like you understand, bollocking them.
Yeah.
But nobody's doing that. Nobody's. I hate to say it, but the captain isn't doing his job.
I think that's a fair shout. I think that is a fair shout.
Whether he's come back from injury too early or not, but he seems to be just not. He's definitely not at his best. He's definitely not as fast. I mean, I think it was last week with when he got the ball and he had the breakaway and he got caught. 2 years ago he wouldn't have got caught. Or
he would have had the power to fight off the chasing man.
Exactly.
If he reached
but
it.
But he just gave himself up and he was instantly looking to pass the ball off. And like this game, I actually forgot he was playing until the second half.
And that, to you, is a question then of leadership as much as even his ability?
Yes, massively.
So, when you looked at the opposition side and you saw how good a game a couple of the more experienced heads did have in the Hull KR lineup, Craig Hall at fullback and Danny Maguire in the halves, did you see that as being a crucial factor then, that they had leadership and you didn't?
You've got that. You've also got the fact that Garbett wasn't exactly happy with the way that Leeds have treated him, and Garbett's been on fine form.
Yeah,
I understand that. I think we got rid of him partly because he gets injured a lot, and you got the new interchange rule, and he understood that, and he has been on an amazing run. And I really liked Garbett. I really liked Kinehorse. I would have happily kept them both, and I was disappointed that they both went. But when you naff two players off in the way that we did, and they're playing against you, and they're on form, you're going to get a dicking.
Which, and to be honest, there was a point in this game where it didn't feel like you were going to get hammered. When it got back to 31-22, I think, after Hurrell's Hurrell's third try.
Yeah, it was in grasp. You thought we could get
there.
Going on to the next, when we talk about the next game, you'll think, oh, you're never going to make that back. And you just wish that Leeds could have done that. And you sort of think there's a glimmer of hope. But as you well know, Mark, it's the hope that kills you.
It's the hope that kills you. Well, the most impressive thing for me in this one was Hull KR. They had injuries to Will Oakes, Joel Tompkins and Wella Haraki, and were able to overcome those in-game injuries, because I think that's really tough to do. So credit to them for that. To me, I don't know if you'll agree, all the crucial moments in this game went Hull KR's way. Like when Hull KR needed something to happen for them, it happened for them. They were starting to get pegged back in their own end, and all of a sudden Craig Hall found a break out of nowhere. The kick that we talked about, the goal line dropout that went out on the full, it just seems like the important moments all fell for Hull Kingston Rovers.
Yes, but on the plus side, on the other side of that, we shouldn't have been in that position. I mean, we shouldn't have let those two tries in. With 16 minutes gone, there was more points on the board than there was time gone.
Yeah.
To put yourself in that position that early is a lot to bring back, and you can't make it on 50-50 stuff later on in the game. You can't say shoulda, woulda, coulda. We shouldn't have been in that position.
Not when you're on the road against a team who are motivated, like you say, because they've got a lot of your ex-players. Was there any players who stood out in particular for you in this game?
I mean, I can't look past my man crush Connie Hurrell. But I don't think the wingers were getting the service. It sort of felt like we'd gone back to the old what we were doing at the start of the season, where we just took it down the middle, and we weren't getting it out to the wingers. So Connie Hall had to come in and actually take the tackles and actually take it in himself. Ash Hanley hardly got the ball. There's when we trust ourselves to do it, we can make some plays, and you saw that a lot against Cass when Hurrell gets blamed for dropping the ball and knocking on, but he tries stuff.
Yeah,
and that is, I mean, when you try stuff, you have the ability to have a bit of magic, and you might fuck up 4 in every 10 times, but you're still giving it a go.
Was there any particular try of the game from either side that stood out as maybe the magic moment for you?
No, I've blocked it all out of my mind now.
Right,
I'd like to go on to the next game.
That's
now,
excellent. Yeah, I don't want to go on to the next game, but we shall. We move on to Friday night, where...
But I will